So today we will be studying about female reproductive system. Now, the female reproductive organ includes two ovaries, that is one pair. Okay. Then the uterine tubes, also known as oviduct or fallopian tube. Okay, fallopian tube. Then comes uterus, vagina, external genitalia organ, and mammary gland. We'll see one by one. Now these oval-shaped structure on both the side of the uterus are the ovaries. Okay, so there are two ovaries on each side. So that is one pair of ovaries are present. Okay, then the shape is oval shape and the length is around 2 to 5 centimeter and the width is around 1.5 centimeter. Now coming to the internal structure, now you can see this outer layer is known as ovarian stroma. Okay, ovarian stroma. Now this ovarian stroma is further divided into two parts, that is peripheral cortex and medulla, inner medulla. Sorry, inner medulla. Okay. Now, function of this cortex and medulla will see further during the gametogenesis or oogenesis. Okay. Now, you can see these ovaries, okay, are connected with this tube with this finger-like projection. Okay, this finger-like projection are called fimbriae. Okay, now this fimbriae basically holds the ovary. Okay. Now, this enlarged part from this finger-like projection, this enlarged part is known as infundibulum. Infundibulum. Okay. Now, going on to this tube further, okay, this entire tube is known as fallopian tube. Okay, here and here. Okay, this is known as fallopian tube. Now, there is two regions that is known as. One is known as ampulla. Okay, another is known as isthmus. Okay. Now, what is the specification of these two structure? Why have we mentioned this two structure? Now, basically, what happened? These structures are the structures when in between when the egg is present. In between these two structures, when the egg is present, there is the high chance of fertilization. High chance of fertilization. Okay, the position of the egg should be in between ampulla and isthmus. Okay, when the position is over here, then there is highest chance of fertilization, which leads to pregnancy. Okay, now generally the situation when the egg is in between both the structure comes around 12 to 14 days after the menstrual cycle. Okay, menstrual cycle. Okay, now we'll further read about menstrual cycle on the further slides. Okay, so this is all about ovary. Now again coming to the structure of the uterus. 1 minute, let me erase this. Now comes the next structure is this uterus. Okay, so now this uterus is pear shaped. Okay, pear shaped. Now this upper portion of the uterus is known as uterine fundus. Okay, now what happened? The uterus mainly has three layers. Okay, the outer layer is known as perimetrium, the inner layer, the middle layer is known as myometrium, and the inner layer is known as endometrium. Okay, so now this endometrium is responsible during menstrual cycle. Okay. Generally, this inner lining shades off in form of blood, leading to the menstruation. Okay. Now, this uterus provides an environment for the implantation. Okay, for the implantation of the fetus, and promotes the development of the fetus. Okay, the entire fetus grow in this structure. Okay, inside a specialized organ that is known as placenta. Okay, now this is all about uterus. Then coming to the external, now this uterus is extended to a canal like structure that is known as cervical canal. Okay, and the cervical canal ends at the cervix. Then cervix continue to the vagina, that is the external genitalia. Okay, now this cervical cancer and cervix is mainly responsible for your pacturation. Okay, pacturation means during the delivery of the fetus. Okay, now during the delivery, this acts as a elastic. This stretch to deliver the fetus. Okay, now then we'll see the external genitalia, that is the vagina. Okay, now we'll see the overall functions of the structure. Ovary, generally the ovary produces the female hormone, that is the estrogen and progesterone. Then it is mainly the site of ovulation. Okay, it produces ovum or the egg cell. Okay, now the fallopian tube, also known as oviduct, otherwise known as uterine tube, these carry the ovum from the ovary to the uterus, helps in the transportation. Okay, usually the site of fertilization, as we mentioned, that is the ampulla and isthmus. In between both the structures, when the egg is there, then there is high chance of fertilization. Okay, then fimbriae sweeps the ovum into the fallopian tube following ovulation. Okay, now this fimbriae catches the ovum and transfer it to the fallopian tube. Then coming to the uterus, as we saw, this a pear shaped organ in which the embryo and fetus develop. Okay, it involves also in menstruation. Okay, then coming to cervix, this separates the vagina from the uterus, holds the fetus during pregnancy, dilates during birth, allows the fetus to leave the uterus. Okay, so these have the expansion and relaxation capacity. Okay, these have the elasticity property, that is the cervix. Then vagina, it is extended from the cervix to the external environment, provides a passage mainly for the sperm and menstrual flow. Okay, vagina is main function is to provide passage for the sperm and menstrual flow. It also acts as a birth canal. Okay, now comes the external genitalia. Okay, now this external genitalia includes certain organs, that is the mons pubis, then labia majora, labia minora, clitoris, vestibule of vagina, bulb of vestibules, and greater vestibular gland. Okay, now this is a vagina structure. Here there is a cushion like structure which has hairs on it. This is known as mons pubis. Okay, and then further there is this outer layer. Okay, this outer layer, which is a leaf like structure. Okay, looks like leaf. This is known as labia majora. Okay, This is known as labia majora. Then there is the inner smaller lip, that is known as labia minora. Okay. Here upper portion there is a small leaf-like structure. Okay, which is very minute. Okay, this portion is known as clitoris. Okay, clitoris. Now this clitoris is equivalent to male penis in terms of sensitivity. Okay, like the in male the penis get erected during arousal. Same in case of females also, during arousal these clitoris gets erected. Okay. Then comes now here there is another opening, okay, which is known as hymen. Okay, this hymen is a structure, is a membrane structure which is half open. Okay, but in some cases due to the vigorous exercise, okay, maybe exercise or some kind of operation, or maybe due to heavy flow in menstrual cycle, this membrane gets ruptured. Okay. Now another part of the female reproductive system is the mammary gland. Okay. Now this mammary gland contains this globular cells. Okay, these globular cells are present over here. Okay, these globular cells are present. Okay. Now this globular cells produce 15 to 20 mammary cells. Now these mammary cells merge to form alveoli. Now this, what is this alveoli? Alveoli secretes the milk. Okay, or also known as production site for milk. Okay, production site for the milk. Okay, they secrete milk, and the alveoli cavity mainly stores the milk. Okay, there is this alveoli. This alveoli structure has a cavity like structure. They holds the milk. Now these alveoli cavity opens into mammary tubules. Okay, the further alveoli opens into mammary tubules. Now this mammary tubules merge to mammary ampulla. Okay, here there is the further the tubes merge to form ampulla. Okay, here is ampulla. Ampulla. Then the further mammary ampulla moves to the lactiferous duct. Okay, here you can see the lactiferous duct. Okay, now this lactiferous ducts open into this nipple. Okay, from this nipple the fetus sucks the milk during the feeding process. Okay, now here you can see pectoralis minor. So these are basically the support which is provided to this mammary gland. Okay. Now we'll see hormone regulation in female reproductive system. So the hormones involved are GnRH, that is gonadotropic releasing hormone, then FHS, follicular stimulating hormone, LH, luteinizing hormone, estrogen and progesterone. So we'll see one by one how this works. Okay, so generally from the hypothalamus this gonadotropic releasing hormone are secreted. Now these particular hormone stimulates the pituitary gland. Okay, so GnRH stimulates the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland. Now this pituitary gland after stimulation produces FHS, okay, follicular stimulating hormone. Now it stimulates the follicular development in the ovaries, okay, follicular development which leads to the formation of ovum. Okay. Now this also this GnRH also stimulates pituitary to release LH, okay, luteinizing hormone. Now this luteinizing hormone triggers ovulation and corpus luteum formation. Okay, this is also helpful in ovulation. Okay, now comes the estrogen. Okay, these are secreted from the ovarian follicles. Here first FSH develops the follicle. Now the ovarian follicle produces estrogen. This estrogen main function is to thicken the endometrium. Okay, to prepare the endometrium for the implantation and growth of the fetus. Then progesterone, which is released from the corpus luteum, which generally maintains the endometrial lining. Okay.